and as you notice, we will record it for the sake of if other people who are unable to attend the webinar, if they want to view the webinar, be available to them. Yes, I was saying it's part of the A Million Conversations initiative with Sanofi, and so myself and Raluca will go through the program today. We'll go through it fairly quickly, but close enough that I think you'll be able to follow. And of course, the slides are available and you can watch the webinar again. But let me introduce myself first. For those who don't know me, it's Carl Queiroz. I'm the Executive Director of Childhood Cancer International. I've been in the childhood cancer field for the last 7.5 years. Prior to being with CCI, I was the CEO of CHOC, Childhood Cancer Foundation in South Africa, on the board and on the Africa Regional Committee and so forth. And then I'm also very pleased to welcome Raluca Papa, who is our Global Program Manager. She started with us in 1st of January. And I mean, those of you who are involved with CCI will know that in the last year, we've started quite a lot of projects. And so Raluca is playing a very important role in managing a lot of our projects and programs, and Coursera is one of them. So welcome, Raluca, and she'll tell you more when she does a presentation later. So I'm going to start by giving an introduction to Coursera and just how it came about, and just the general purposes for those who we have presented this before at conferences and so forth, but for those who are not familiar, just a quick background. And then we're going to be talking about what are the general requirements and rules for the course. What is the registration process? Raluca is going to take you through the navigation of the course. It can make it easy for you to know how to find your way and what courses to find. And then, of course, there will be time for questions and answers. Actually, what we'll do after each section, when I finish, I'll pause. And if you want to ask questions, that's fine. So keep your questions. So you can either ask them verbally, and we can unmute you, or but first just make a note on the chat box, or put up your hand, and then we will answer questions. Okay, so that's by way of introduction. Right, so let's kick off. Next slide. Okay, I think we've covered this one. If we can go to the next one, please. Okay, so what is Coursera and how did it start about? So I think you all know that we're one of our closest partners is with Sanofi, and we had a conversation and we saw they got this course, and it's really to help. It's mainly focused on young people, to help young people to, particularly in low and middle income countries, to acquire skills, to get knowledge and certificates and so forth. And we had a chat. We said, look, this would be fantastic for CCI and its members. In our case, we definitely want to also focus on for young people, particularly the survivors, although there is a minimum age limit of 16. But we also said to Sanofi that one of our challenges of our members is that we need training, we need capacity development, and a lot of our members don't have resources to send their staff on training and skills. So it'd be fantastic if this is also available to staff and volunteers, because we're very aware that a lot of our members are run, particularly the small organization, are run by volunteers, not by staff. So this is available to anyone who's connected in some way, formally connected with your organization. Okay. If you go into the Coursera site, you'll see that it's an online learning platform. There's short courses, there are longer courses, there are degrees. And so what we're looking, particularly our case, is courses that are relevant in terms of the staff and the volunteers are relevant to CCI and relevant to your organization. Things like fundraising, financial management, general project management skills. There's a lot of IT courses on this. For the survivors, this is just to help them to get qualifications and skills. So whatever is available to them, whatever's available on Coursera is open to them. There are 275 universities and companies that are providing these courses, and there'll be a certificate for each one of them. So there's universities from the United States, a lot of universities from the United States, from around the world, from the UK as well. And there's companies like Google and IBM as well. So the courses are arranged in terms of video lectures, quizzes, assignments, emails, and so forth. Very nice, interactive, managed. And as I mentioned, there are recognized certificates. The courses are mainly in English, but you'll see there's a lot of other languages, particularly French, Arabic, Spanish. Just be aware, and I think Luca will talk more about this, some of the courses are prepared both in English and Spanish, for example, and some of them are just direct AI translations, so that's not always perfect, but Luca will talk more about that later. The next slide. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is for CCI members who wish to develop their staff, volunteers, and improve their skills and abilities. For Asia, we're linking this to the Asia program on if we identify with organization there's a particular gap, for example, that they need additional skills on governance or on financial management, then we can refer them to a course. And all the courses, of course, it goes without saying, but let me say it, there are some free courses that even the paid ones through this are free. So there's no payment, there's no co-payment. And for the survivors, as we mentioned, they can either do short courses or they can do one that is longer and with the goal of acquiring a certificate for a specific skill. And what you'll notice with some of the companies, they're doing training on real work environment skills that are needed in the work environment. So in the next slide, there's, as you see, there's thousands of courses, but generally they focus on general management, project management, fundraising, marketing, digital marketing. There's a lot on that, financial management, budgeting, there's got a lot of personal development skills which you can use for staff development, governance, leadership, psychosocial support as well. So what are the requirements, both from the Coursera side and from CCI side? As I mentioned, it's got to be someone who is formally linked to your organization in some way, staff, volunteers, CCI members in good standing. Survivors who are form part of the CCI members, and the courses by staff must be related. So as I said, if it's a course for survivor, they can do whatever course they want. But for staff, we do want to see that it is related to the running of a organization, of a childhood cancer organization. There are no limitation to the types of course taken by survivors. Okay, so licenses is the big one. We have negotiated 200 licenses in the initial round. Okay, we have 183 members, which is why we said initially we're offering each organization one license. Okay, but note that a license is for a year. Some courses only take several weeks. So if you start the license now and you start a course and you finish the course in 6 weeks, you can use the same license for the next course. So in that way, you can actually get 3, 4, 5 courses, maybe not 5, but at least you'll get 2 or 3 and maybe 4 courses in a year on the same license. Okay. The current agreement we have with Sanofi and Coursera is that it will run until June 2025, but the intentions from all parties is that it's renewed, but just be aware the current agreement runs. However, if you start a course before June 2025, and for the unlikely event that the agreement isn't renewed, you can finish that course. You don't have to worry, what if I'm in the middle of a course in 2025 in June? Not to worry, you can finish the course. But as I said, we really expect to repeat this and have it continue at least for the next few years. So the process for you is get familiar with the program guidelines. There is a document available. You can read the guidelines. Then there is a submission form that you apply, a license to us. We get your license, and then there are requirements. There are not a lot of requirements in terms, but you do need, of course, to do a minimum amount of the work on the course. You need to meet timelines, and then we also ask you to participate in a survey on how you found the course useful and that. Okay, so that the process, Raluca is going to go into a lot more detail. So maybe not to take questions from there, but if there are any questions generally about the licenses. What I should say about the licenses is that we'll do the first round. I suspect we will not use up all the 200 licenses in the first round. And I think we've got until the 23rd of April, yes, for you to apply. After that, we will put the remaining license back in the pool and make it available to everyone. We will give initially priority if you're from a umbrella organization, association, or federation with lots of sub-members as well. We will give, in the next round, we'll give you a priority for license. But I suspect that there will be quite a few additional licenses available in the second round. And if we run out of the 200 licenses, I can go back to Sanofi and Coursera and ask for more. So one license initially, as I said, just to make sure that everyone gets a chance, every organization. Okay, I'm going to pause there. Are there any questions for me at this stage before we go into the process, applications and things like that? I don't see any on chat. No. Okay, so over to my colleague, Raluca.
Thank you, Carl, and thank you for the great introduction to the general overview of the program. I hope you are still with us and you are eager to know what the guidelines are, because we will go through them more or less in detail, okay? So let's start first with the eligibility criteria. This is something very relevant because naturally, only those respecting this criteria will benefit of the license. As you know, it's one license per organization, and that license can be given to a learner. So the person using the license, let's call the person a learner, can be other staff or volunteer within a CCI member organization with a particular role there. Yeah, it can be a board member, a volunteer parent supporter, and so on, another type of volunteer. It can also be a survivor with the minimum age of 18 years old. But also, so if the first two of these criteria are one or the other, when we look at the next two requirements, we actually need individual who commit to completing the course requirements. Because if they engage, we expect that also there is the completion of the course done successfully, but also that there is the commitment to engage in our survey, which is meant to give us feedback to improve the program, but also to be able to collect testimonies and also to share with the global community of CCI how this Coursera program is useful and relevant for members. How do we do with this one license per organization? You as a member organization, you are entitled to it and you have to request it. How you request it or how you claim it, you need to register by submitting an application form. There is a dedicated application form through which we will go together soon, which needs to be filled out by 23 of April. What please keep in mind is that in order to make sure that these applications are eligible, we need to see that they are submitted by a formal representative of your organization. So it can be a chairperson, it can be a board member, it can be a staff member with a formal role in the organization. But for sure, we want to avoid situation in which people submit their interest, but the organization hasn't really agreed or approved that person to be the learner receiving the license for their organization. The registration, as we said, it's about submitting a form until 23 of April. But what happens after 23 of April? Because we have more licenses, let's say, than members, and there is also the possibility that not all members will be claiming their licenses. After this date, we will use this rule of first come, first served. So we will, if now we are going to process all these requests in based on one license per organization, after 23 of April, we will still receive applications for the licenses which are not covered, and we will consider the order based on the chronological order. So there might be more organizations or the same organization having more submissions, and that will be the rule of first come, first served. Naturally, and as Carl was saying, what we wish is to and we hope to increase the number of licenses so that more and more people can benefit of the learning. Now, we know that there is one license per organization, and in some cases, maybe your organization is having a lot of people interested in this license. Yet, when we offer a license, we offer it per email account, per person. Yes, so it's individually assigned. What we can do is that it's one license with multiple users, but not at the same time, which means that you can, for example, decide with your the person from your organization, the learner, that this learner will take 2 or 3 courses for a duration of 3 months, for example, and after that you want to pass that license to someone else. That's something that you can do once that second learner or third learner still respects the eligibility criteria. If you want to do that, you have to, the same representative of the organization who submitted the application form initially will have to request this change by email to programmanager@cci.care, okay? And once we discuss to make this change, the license will be assigned to a new member, to somebody who uses, of course, another email address. And why the change cannot be done by yourselves within the organization is because once you go in your own account as a learner, the certificate is issued on your own name. The whole process is based on your whole on your own profile. So then what we want is to make sure that all learners who benefit of the learning have also their learning recognized through the certificate with their own name. Okay, what happens if there is an inactive license? So we as CCI, we can see as admins of the program, we can see in the platform how often a learner uses a license, and if in the courses in which a learner is enrolled is being attended and is being completed often. And in case this doesn't happen, so there is an inactive learner, what we will do is that we will check if there is no participation in courses for 4 weeks in a row. And then we will send by email to the learner a notification saying that, hello, we see your inactivity in the last 4 weeks. And we are warning that in case there are 10 other days of inactivity, the license will be removed. That doesn't mean that the person cannot receive it later again if the organization decides so, but considering the time frame in which the license was inactive, we want to encourage that it's really being used actively by other members if it's not the moment for the initial learner. So after 10 days of let's say, trial, if the person is still inactive, the license is removed. And then we from CCI, we're going to contact the organization, and we are going to have 10 other days in which the organization can appoint a new learner to the license. In case the organization is not able to either reply or assign a new learner, the license will go back to the general pool, which means other organizations, countries can benefit of that license. Okay, something more, let's say, positive, yeah, the courses that we have there. There is a predefined catalog of courses, and they are for free as they are sponsored by Sanofi Global. However, when you go on your profile, and you will soon see how a test how it looks like, you will see that there are also courses there that require a tuition fee. So it's a matter of using the path that is created already as recommendations for CCI community, and I will show you exactly where that is to make sure that you don't enroll in courses which are requiring a fee. Each course is ending with a certification once, of course, is successfully completed. Now, depending on the category of course, there are also different certifications that you receive. So there are 3 different courses, types of courses, which you can see in our platform offered for free. The first one is a simple course. The second one is a professional certification, and the third one is a specialization. So if it's a simple course, it means that the course only lasts a few hours. It can be completed in a few weeks, and then the certificate is issued by Coursera. A professional certification, though, it's something a bit more complex. It consists of more courses. They can last up to 6 months, and they are provided that they are developed, but also certified by a global entity. And they can be a company, but also sort of institute. A specialization is similar to the personal certification, but it has a main difference. It consists of more courses again. It can last up to 6 months. But is provided by a recognized educational institute such as a university. So the certification issued is from a university. As you see, you can opt for having more courses in which to engage, and then yes, you receive a certificate by Coursera, but then you can also engage in a professional one or in a specialization, which is recognized by other bodies with expertise in the field. About language, Carl was mentioning something briefly before, and we will see also soon that once we go in the platform and we see also the courses, they are for sure all in English, but there are also many of them available in other languages. Some of the courses can be very well translated into, let's say, French or Portuguese, while others can be done automatically in all sorts of languages. So I'm from Romania, let's say it will be in Romanian. Not so many chances, honestly, to find a course in Romanian, but if they would be in Romanian, it might have been done an automatic translation, which means that there may be errors and it can be confusing for me as a learner. Also, the courses which are translated in a different language, but they have videos, for example, incorporated, they can still have the videos only available in English. So that's a heads up, because it still requires some juggling with the online translation. I went let's say fast maybe through these program guidelines, but just to note, they are available online on the website. If you go on there is a web page, programs for our members, and there is a dedicated page for Coursera. And there you can find also this document called Program Guidelines and Rules, where you can find all this information that we've went through. What I spoke about is mainly written there, so you can always return to have a second read. Now, before moving to the next part of our presentation, I just want to check if there are any questions related to the program guidelines. You can use the chat to type it down, or you can raise your hand. Yes, we have a hand raised. Please, can you, not this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank
Yes.
you. It's Kavita Shetty from Mumbai, India.
Nice to meet
So
you.
I just wanted to know, before we register for the license, would we get to know what are the courses available?
That's a very good question. The specific courses, they aren't available, the catalog of courses, they aren't available now, but the topics of the courses, you can see them in the registration form. So when you will register, you will see which are the main topics. Through that, it's not specified which course from which university or from which entity is offered.
Okay. And a second question was like, per day, what would be the commitment like hours? Because since they'll be our staff, it depends on different courses, right? It will be different, like the 3 months course or 6 months course, per day commitment would be like,
How many hours per week you're asking in this sense?
Yeah.
Good question. So some of them, and most of them, especially if there are certifications or specialization, they require for even 10 hours per week. So
per week. Okay.
Yes, so this added to the level of work, yes, needs to be considered. But what is important is that Coursera offers the chance to go through the courses, whatever type of courses they are, at the learner's own pace. So if this week I know I can only work on Friday on my course or on my specialization, it's fine if I do it then, or in the weekend or Saturday afternoon, whatever.
Okay.
That's an advantage, and it also allows, most of them allows the learner to set different deadlines. So because it's an interactive tool, learning tool, you have different deadlines to submit your homeworks, quizzes, whatever. And it's very great that you can change those and adjust them so that you can do it at your own pace, stress-free. Yeah, but
Okay.
still there is a
Thank you.
level of commitment there. Yeah, a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We have a question in the chat from Evgenia, if I'm pronouncing right. If the topics are available in 3 formats: short course, short, professional, and specialized. So courses which are short duration indeed, yes, of a few weeks, professional certification, and specialization. Exactly, those are the 3 courses. Now, generally in Coursera, there is also, maybe you know, the university degrees. That's something that we don't have now. Maybe in the future it will be, who knows? But now what we can focus on is these short courses, professional certification and specialization, which still offer these certifications to recognize the skills gained.
Last question.
Yes, please.
Okay, so you said that per organization you're allowed to apply for 1 license. Maybe you've mentioned this. Maybe you've mentioned this answer, but I was a bit late to join. So you have a 1 license per organization, but 1 individual can use this license to learn, or can we have more than 1 individual learning
Yeah.
at the same time?
Yes, so to answer the question, there is indeed 1 license per organization, which means that that license is given to an individual, a person who is a learner, yes? The learner can access more courses and do more courses if that's what they want, but there cannot be more people from the same organization using the same license, because the license is given per email account. So it's per personal name and surname and email account, and once you finalize a course, you receive a certificate on your own name. And if, for example, we would have people who would be using the same account, the certificate will be generated on someone's name, although maybe someone else completed it. So that's something that it's not possible to
Yes, I understand. I meant different courses. Can different individual attend different courses on the same license or no?
Yes, so to make sure I understood your question. If, let's say, the 2 of us are from the same organization, you are using the license first and you are joining 3 courses. Then I'm taking the license after you finish, and I will attend 4 other courses, different than what you attend. That's possible.
So it has to be, I have to finish. Let's say me and you at CCI. Okay. The HR allowed me to attend a course. Okay. They have to wait for me to finish this course until to give this license to you so you can attend a course.
Exactly.
All right. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
That I also mentioned, and it's good that you're bringing this up again. In case you as a learner, so you have the license now and you are registered to a course, but for 4 weeks you haven't been using it. It means that
Yeah.
you are not using the license. It's an inactive license, so the license can be given to someone else, and that's something that together with the organization CCI will manage and give the license to maybe someone else from your organization, or if no one wants it, to someone else of CCI Global.
Yeah, I understood. I just thought whether we can do it simultaneously, me and you at the same time, but obviously it's not. I have to finish. So it's for the benefit of the people who are responsible for the training at the organization to push this person to finish quicker or to finish on time so they can pass it on to another need in the organization.
Maybe if you're also asking if the same person can do more than one course, that's also possible. Obviously, one at a time, but that's up to the organization, because the idea is that as many people as possible benefit. Because as we said, license can be multiple courses. But let's say you have a administrator or program manager, you feel you want them to have more than one course. That's okay. It's up to the organization to tell us, okay, this individual is finishing this course, and the new course will be a new individual, or it will be a new course of the same individual. But the main rule is one course at a time.
Yes, I understood. Thank you very much for the clarification. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I think we can go to the next part, which is the registration form. So I was telling you, in order to benefit of a license, there needs to be filled in a registration form. There is not considered a shown of interest via email or a message sent informally. It has to be done through this registration form, and we will look at it together. You see the registration form? Do you see it opened? Yeah, perfect. Again, in the registration form, you will see the eligibility criteria, the date until you can fill this in, but also a notification that once you submit this application, if approved, please wait for a duration of 5 to 7 days to be received the access. What you have to fill in this application form: full name of the organization, so the organization that the learner is part of, the country of the organization, the full name of the formal representative. I won't go in detail because I think it's quite self-explanatory. Email address of the formal representative, the role of that person submitting the application, but also we start adding information about the learner, such as the full name of the person who will use the license. So please here indicate the right and full name, because it will also be linked to the certificate issued upon completion of the course, okay? Then to specify, please, if it's a staff, volunteer, or survivor, date of birth of the learner. Again, this we need to make sure that is above the minimum age required. And here is, as Kavita was asking, where can we see the catalog? Again, it's not a catalog, but at least there are the topics.
Yeah.
In this question here, we're asking you which is the learner most interested in, to give them an idea of what they can find there. But also it's not how to say, it's not a commitment at this stage from their side. If they choose, for example, marketing and advocacy, it's not a commitment that those are the courses or the topics that they can only get engaged in. They can browse through the whole catalog of courses. It's mostly for us to assess a bit their interest as we develop this program further. We would also like to learn about the motivation of the learner to be part of these courses or to benefit of this license. And lastly, we have this part of this section of what happens if a member is inactive for 4 weeks in a row. It's relevant for the learner to know as well. So it's something that the organization needs to brief as well the learner. So we encourage you to speak and present the program, what is at their interest as well to the learner, so that they know if they are not active for 4 weeks, they will have 10 other days to use their license, or else it will be given to someone else. There is also the reminder of the commitment to engage in surveys sent by us, which will come in time, yeah, not frequently, but there will be, so please expect that. And in case the learners are not maybe comfortable, if they are younger or they're not really sure of how to fill this survey, maybe your support is welcomed. So we count on your support for that as well. And the last part is the data protection policy, just that this information which is provided through the form is accurate and the learner is giving the consent, or their guardian is giving the consent for younger learners. And then submit, which would be actually written in your name. This is in your language. This is in Romanian, as you see the Romanian version of the form. But yes, basically, once you click on submit, we receive your request and then we are able to process it further. That's the registration form. As you see, it doesn't take a lot of time. What it requires mostly is from your side to identify the learner and support them in understanding what the requirements are for them. After or after we receive their application or your application for this license, the learner will receive on their own email. So it's not something you will receive if you're the one submitting the application. Yeah, it's the learner will receive on their email an automatic email from Coursera, which says that you're invited to learn on Coursera. So this is the subject of the email, the subject line. And then within the email, there is the information necessary to start their learning journey. And the easiest way to do it, of course, is to just click join now, and you're being directed to the webpage of Coursera. We will now go to the to navigation, a bit of navigating on Coursera. But before that, just to check if there are any questions at this stage before we go and see how the user experience feels like. Okay. Then I think we can go to Coursera. Okay. So I believe you see it, right? You see the, yeah, okay. Okay, so I would first like to explain a bit the main webpage, what it offers, the platform, and then we can go into details to what it's for us interesting. First, yes, on this left side, you see the this square of dots. That's because we have the option to go through Sanofi's funded courses, which are those that are offered for free, or to browse on all Coursera platform. Naturally, if you choose to do that, and if the learner chooses to do that, they will see also courses which are not offered for free. Only those which are here under Sanofi A Million Conversations and Childhood Cancer International are those which are supported by Sanofi and available for free. So this is to keep in mind. This is if you want to search for a particular topic. But again, once you search for particular topics, you might also receive some courses which are not only funded by Coursera. Further on the right, you see this arrow, which allows you to choose the language in which you want the whole platform to be displayed. So instead of having it written in English, such as home, my recommendations, and so on, you can choose to have it, for example, in Deutsch, in German, yeah, or in any other language that you prefer. Please note that if you choose a language from here, that doesn't mean you have you're going to see these courses only in Deutsch, for example, only in German. Okay, you will still see receive courses which are mainly in English. The fact that you choose another language doesn't show you only the courses that in the language that you chose. This is the button of notifications, and here is a notification that, hey, don't miss your deadlines, and so on. More notifications are coming as the learner is using the platform more. On this button, you can, as a user, as a learner, you can see your profile and some other different features, and we will go through it together. The learner won't have this first one of Sanofi A Million Conversations admin. I have it because I have the role of the admin of Coursera. So please ignore this one. We will start with the profile, okay? So the learner will have the profile one where they can put a photo, they can add more information if you want. It's really up to them. My purchases, again, it's something that it's not irrelevant for us now, as we are only looking at the free courses available on Coursera as sponsored by Sanofi. Okay, so it's not something at our interest. In settings, you can choose here your name, time zone, if you want to change the email address, and so on. Payment, again, it's not necessary now for us because it's not, or at least unless the user wants to pay for their courses through our program, it's not necessary to pay for them. If you want here to receive personalized emails from Coursera, some other notes and highlights, if you are taking from the course, but also this opportunity to synchronize your calendar with different deadlines that you have in the courses that you are attending. Updates, it's something similar with notification, but here is rather about the courses that you are enrolled in. Okay, so it shows like, welcome to this course, start here or start with this. Accomplishments, once the learner has been going through courses and has been finalizing courses or specialization or whatever type of course they are registered in, it will be shown here in their accomplishments bar. And I have to verify my name, so don't mind me now. And lastly, here is the help center, which is also a bot. So it allows you to interact with their help center, which is an AI actually. So you can say what sort of question you have for them. Naturally, as most of the questions probably are related in our case with the Coursera and CCI program, some questions might be answered by general Coursera, while others are so specific to our situation that is more relevant to rather take them to us. So for example, to me, as I will be the contact person for this program, okay? The last button is the log out, which you can choose to log in or log out every time you use the platform, or else you can just save your account and don't log out every time you use the platform. Okay. Now let's go back to our main page, what I was showing to you. Here we have home, my recommendations, find your new career, and my learning. If you go on home, you will see here that you can personalize your learning experience and you can have new recommendations. So basically here in the second tab, you can have recommendations based on what you choose that is your topic of interest. So for example, I randomly put here risk analysis. Yeah, so risk analysis. Analyst. I'm interested to learn more about risk analysis and develop competence in this area. Therefore, the recommendations which the platform offer to me is around risk analysis, finances, and so on. You can always choose to edit this one at any stage as a user. For example, I just want to explore. I want, let's say, digital marketing. Let's say analyst. You can imagine if it's manager, there will be maybe less courses than if it's an analyst, depending on the level yeah, the level that you also want to have. Okay, so here now you see recommendations. It took us automatically to the tab My Recommendations, and here we see we have courses, some projects, personal certificates, and specialization. You will see that courses are also part of these projects are also part of courses or certificates or specialization. They usually are part of something else, including courses. Yeah, so courses can also be part of something bigger, such as a professional certificate or a specialization, but you don't have to really mind that now at this stage. So now, as a digital marketing, as someone interested about digital marketing, I received these opportunities. Some courses of 1-2 months. It gives you an example of how long it can last, but it can really be up to you to prolong it or make it shorter. If you would go and find your new career, well, this is something that it's not offered for free, because it means it's something different than what is already offered by CCI. So yes, you can look, for example, software engineering and IT, but there might be courses that are not only offered for free. So personally, I would encourage you not to really use this feature, so that you don't get confused and start using courses which aren't for free. Anyway, once you enroll in such a course, you will see that is a tuition fee and you're being asked to pay. So it will be signs that it's not offered for free. Then when you go to My Learning, this is where you will see all the courses that you are registered to, or you are enrolled to, and you can see more, you can see everywhere, you can see all of them, you can see the progress, you can start them, you can reset deadlines. I was telling you about this earlier. You can connect those deadlines to your calendar and so on and so forth. Let's go back to the home page, because we started here with your personalized learning experience, but we can also look what we have further. Here are some videos recommended for the type of career goals that I chose. And then what is really useful, and I recommend you actually to use this sort of feature to see the catalog, finally the catalog of courses and specializations and so on, is to go here under recommended by your organization. You will go to view all, and finally you will see here what you have for project management, marketing, fundraising, budget development and financial reporting, people management and leadership. Basically, these are the same categories as they were being shown in the application form. Yeah. So these are the courses. I say courses, but there are also the specialization. Everything is all together. And if, for example, we go to project management and we look at show more, we will see we have these 3 courses. One is by a university from Milano, University Rice, University of Columbia, professional certificate offered by Google. There are some courses, another specialization, and so on. Let's say we would go at this one, office productivity software specialization. Yeah. I click on it, and this is what I see as a user before deciding to enroll or not. Okay, I see details about this specialization. So first I can see here that it has 6 courses, and that the estimated duration is of 2 months with a pace of 2 hours per week. So that's maybe not that let's say not that complex, and it's a very slow one. Yeah, you can see here that it's taught in English. They say that there are video subtitles available. So what is important now to note is that this course, or this specialization actually, it's only taught in English. It's not taught in another language, and there are for some videos subtitles available. You can see who are your instructors and see where they work and who their name is. Then you can find information about what you can expect to learn, what skills you can get, but also something which I find very relevant to be able to design your learning process is that you learn exactly you learn at this stage exactly which would be the topics addressed. So as I said, a specialization like this one consists of more courses. Yes, so we have these 6 courses in this case, and then each course has their details given here. It lasts for 4 hours. It has already a good range of 4.8 of 4.8 out of 5, which means it's an appreciated course, and so on. before deciding if you want to enroll, you can really look at this information. Now, when you go to testimonials, or actually this bottom part of the page, it's general testimonies. Yeah, so it's not something specific for this course or for this specialization. It's general for Coursera. If you decide to enroll, you just have to click here, and then you are enrolled. One important remark: to make sure that it is really for free, make sure that you see here below under the enroll button, sponsored by Sanofi, 1 million conversations, and then you're safe. You can enroll. Oh, just another info: if it's something paid, then it should be also written here on the right side. When it's written beginner level, 2 months, flexible schedule, and so on, it's also written tuition fee, X amounts of currency. So that would be it in terms of, yeah, you're enrolled, you can start this course, and then the learner can start getting more knowledge on the topic that they have chosen. Okay, from my side, and as also see in the interest of time, we are quite okay, Carl. From my side and from our side, this input, the input is been provided, but we also like to see if there are any questions that have remained unanswered. Carl and I are here to answer those.
Very much. We're looking for very comprehensive guidelines and registration process, and taking us through the tour of Coursera. I found it very informative as well, so I'm sure everyone did. Maybe if we can unmute everybody now, and if you have any questions, any comments, please raise your hand or just go ahead and type it in. I think you did a good job, Raluca. Every single question has been answered already.
It's a great initiative. I thank CCI and Coursera and Sanofi, all of this nice kind of collaboration between 3 different entities. It's something that we need to learn. How did you manage to do that? But it's a great initiative. Congratulations. It's just a comment. I wish to have more people being able to do courses under one license at the same time, like my questions previously was put forth to you guys. But overall, it's a great initiative. I'm sure it's a easy platform to navigate from the presentation. That's it. Keep it up. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's our pleasure. I think you missed the beginning a bit, in that we said that we have 200 licenses at the moment, which is more than the members we have. The reason we're only offering 1 license per organization at the moment is just to make sure that everyone has got a chance to enroll. But we expect that some will not use the licenses. That even if everyone does, there'll still be some left over, and then we'll do a second round. So the first close the 23rd. And then if I see, in negotiation with Sanofi, we thought 200 is a good number. But if I see there's a big demand, I will go back to them and ask for more license. So, yeah, I mean, don't be too concerned if it's only 1 license at the moment. The other thing as well is, yeah, please, we did have a lot more interest on that, but not everyone was ready to sign up and come today. So we've made another webinar for the 26th. So please encourage people to come. If you want different people in your organization to come as well, to understand, we're very happy to share, and we really want to promote it as much as possible, because as we saw, it's a fantastic resource. I think every organization will have a need somewhere where you can say, we really need to. I just remember when I was the CEO of CHOC, the one time we wanted to give everyone some training courses on just a Microsoft Office suite and Excel and PowerPoint, and it costs quite a bit of money to train it. So yeah, you can get,
of course.
Yeah, so I think that's fantastic. Any other? Thank you for that question. Any other questions? Thank you from Jody Sim.
Questions for you.
Okay. Great. Thank you,
I'm
everybody.
bothering you a lot.
Another question. Go ahead.
I just wanted to know if an organization who has the capacity to contribute towards the Coursera platform, how would they be able to go about that? Let's say CCCL, Children's Cancer Center of Lebanon, they have a very good practice on fundraising. Can they contribute, for example, to the courses itself, not to be learning, to give?
Yeah. We haven't had that discussion with Coursera, but that's an interesting one. And I'm not sure what the requirements would be that you can offer your material as an institution. But hey, that's a good point. Let's make a note of that. Maybe I'll take this opportunity to say, as I said in the beginning, CCI is developing lots of projects. One of the other projects we're developing is a knowledge portal that will be on the CCI website, which takes all of our material from CCI members and from other organizations involved with childhood cancer, and we put it all onto one site.
Yeah.
So there, certainly, we will ask our members to, and really we've got quite a lot of material from our members. So some members, for example, have got a very good program on navigators or psychosocial support standards or something. So that'll be available to a member. It's not training as such, but it's material you can use.
Yes, yes.
There's us, and then of course with St. Jude, there's the Together site. Their site is more medical and on the technical. Ours is more on the socioeconomic, the social, and I think between the two, there's a lot of material. But it's a very interesting idea to actually offer training material on the site. And look, at this stage, we don't really develop training materials. Yeah. So we'll have to do this. But thank you for that interesting idea.
It's just an idea to keep in mind for the future, for example.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lord.
Okay, good. And we're 2 minutes over, so that's great. And again, on the 26th is another webinar, so please feel free to refer anyone to an organization. Nice meeting you all virtually, and enjoy the courses.
Yeah, we will, sure. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good day.